All right, thank you everybody for coming. If you wouldn't mind, just rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. All righty. Obviously, we're a little short-handed today on trustees. The sign-up sheet to speak to the board will be up here momentarily. It's up there. And then the budget sheet and the minutes will be up here. They were forgot in the office, so they're on their way right now. Some announcements. We had a pretty good holiday weekend. I think hopefully everybody had a good time. Nothing too major happened. Bands were pretty good. And one other bit of announcement, this will be my last meeting. I am resigning officially after this meeting today. I would have resigned sooner, but due to the lack of trustees, we would not be having this meeting. I told y'all I would just do what I could do for you guys, but when things start happening that I don't like and I have no say over, and you put you in the corner, you have no choice but to leave. So this will be my last meeting, and I want to thank everybody. Hopefully everybody's seen the changes that we've made, and hopefully we can keep it going, but I can no longer serve with some of these individuals. So this will be my last meeting. Also, I guess we're going to go ahead and approve the meeting minutes from last meeting. Anybody want to make a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second.
Any opposed? All right, that was for the regular and executive meeting minutes for the August 10th.
Motion to accept.
Second.
All righty, go to the treasurer's report, Mr. Bob.
Well, we ended up, our fiscal year. So at the end of August, we wound up having total funds of $115,000, $957.81. After our expenses and some of our payments that have started to roll in and come in already, we wound up ending the month then at $149,377.48. In the expenses of this last month, we did transfer an extra $10,000 to the roads account, and we transferred an extra $10,000 to the paving account to keep those funds rolling for our maintenance department in the materials they need for fixing the roads. So that was the only other. In our prepays, we've gotten some prepays in, which is really appreciated. So we could start to add those. We need everybody to keep paying their assessments. We will have, I guess, should we mention that amendment that we're going to put up, or just for the roads?
Yeah, that's it needs to be mentioned. Everybody knows that there was a $12 assessment that was put in back in, I think, 2010, and it was only good for 10 years. So that's going to be maturing up. Really, I'd like to have seen it on the October ballot. I don't know. Did it get on the October? Was it in the newsletter or anything, Christina? I don't recall seeing it. But that is going to be a huge thing. That's the money we're using right now for the hard surface roads, okay? We finally, as of when I first got on the board 2.5 years ago, almost to the month, we didn't have anything, no equipment, none whatsoever. Some of you might have seen my Facebook post. So the board working together, we start acquiring the equipment. So we just finally got the pieces aligned, and they've done over 2 miles of roads this year alone. So they're making progress. The numbers don't lie. I mean, we've seen what it cost to have a company come in and do it, and we're getting better than twice the amount of roads done. It would be nice. $12 is not a whole lot of money, per year. That's not much. If we don't have that, that's devastating to Woodlands. Then we might as well just set all of our equipment back to auction and get rid of it, because we're going to have no money for the oil, we're going to have no money for the rock, we're not going to have no money for nothing. So this is a huge deal. It's going to have to be put on the April ballot now. We don't have our video going right now, but we could actually see they're getting pretty good at these roads. Hopefully they start sweeping them off, and they're going to look nice. Anything you start, there's always going to be little quirks, little bumps, little things to work through, but they've done a good job. So right now we're on a roll. And unfortunately, that role is in jeopardy. So let's don't be stupid about it, foolish about this, and let's think about it. Let's get this amendment passed. I don't like the fact that it was wrote for 10 years, but hey, it is what it is. It's in our indenture. We have to vote on it because it expires before our next assessment, which is September 2020. So keep an eye open for that. Pass the word. We will be, well, I can't say we, hopefully they promote this thing to show the people, hey, we got to get this done. And hopefully we get some more. I was going to save it for new business, but we're on the treasurer's report. I also did a little bit of math and research, something to think about. You know, everybody wants cops in here, everybody wants this in here. If everybody be willing, everybody in this room and owners out here at Woodlands, you're looking about $80 to $85 a person to get 24-hour security in here, 2 people, 365 days a year. I mean, that takes a lot of money. You're talking, you can do this. I did a bunch of the math. It's expensive. There's no way we can pull it out of our budget, but something to think about. Hopefully the board maybe considers putting that up there. But you're talking about $85 a year per person for security. And that's 24 hours a day. Somebody to call, somebody to go out and look, somebody to keep track of. It's so much money. We just can't do it. One cop, I'm sorry, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. They're polite. I could be breaking into your place, wave, they'll wave. They need to know you. You need that personal relationship with whoever's roaming around. That's what makes everybody in this room so powerful, is your neighbors, your people. That's what's going to stop the crime or get somebody in here that's working here and gets to know you. That to me is one of the key successes. So hopefully the board will follow up with that and get going with that. That's just an interesting playing with some numbers. I think it'd be kind of good, something to look at. So that's kind of like a treasurer thing. So, all right, how about the maintenance report, Mike?
Recently, we finished up, like Bill said, 2 miles of chip and seal. We will finish, we got a little bit to do on Monday, but then after that, we will be finished with that for this year. We're gonna try to get some patchwork done next week also, before the weather starts turning colder. And then we will focus on some more grading, clean out some ditches, putting in some culvert pipes, and then from there we'll move on. That's all we have planned for next couple of months.
All right, sir, thank you. Hazel, would you like to do the honors on the old lake and fish report? Tell everybody the good news.
We have the aerator.
You got a mic, a little switch on it.
Oh, I forgot. I thought I talked loud enough. We have 8 diffusers and 2 aerators in Woodland Lakes now, and a fountain. Put it in yesterday, it was completed. Well, he's not completed. We're gonna have him come back. We need him to move a few of the diffusers and a few things around a little bit, but it's there. We're getting done. That's all I know.
It looks good, though.
It does.
And hopefully we'll track the results, and then as the results come in, we'll obviously notify the owners, and then if it starts working out, our plan is to start attacking all the lakes to help with all these different issues that we're having.
Every single lake, because we are Woodland Lakes, so we need to take care of those.
And you don't have to become a trustee to get a fountain. I already heard that one. If it makes everybody feel better, you cannot see it from my house.
Or mine.
We made sure of that.
I think Mike can see it, though.
Mike can see it.
See what?
Oh, no. Oh, no. I was down there yesterday. He can't see it. We need to cut down some neighbors' trees.
So it was not done for personal gain. Obviously, if it was, I would have been able to see it from the house, but we cannot see it. If you don't believe, you're more than welcome to come by and check it out yourself. But it does look good, and hopefully it will be beneficial to help solve some of these aging lake problems instead of having to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to drain them and dredge them. So that was our choices, and these come from the experts, so that's what we try to consult, because we all look intelligent, but we're not experts at lakes. So, but we know how to reach out to them. So, all right, that's Lake of Fish. Fire department, really nothing good. There's no news there, so that's usually good news. Trustee Facebook poll report, Mike.
All right, 8/14/19, poll was made by John Kimmick to purchase and install camera systems at the Emerald Bath House as soon as we get our money in September. Nick, Mike, John, Chris, Hazel, and Bob affirm that. 8/15/19, Mike Williams suggested that we get 5 porta potties for the Labor Day weekend from Mickey K's, totaling $710. Nick, Mike, John, Chris, Hazel, and Bob affirmed it. 8/17/19, Nick made a poll to adopt a general rule to be placed in SOP, excuse me, that if a owner or guest is caught stealing or transporting stolen property, it will result in immediate ban from all common ground. Affirm it was Nick, Chris, Hazel, and Bob. Abstained was Mike Williams and John Kimmick. 8/19/19, Mike Williams made a poll to purchase the smooth bucket for the skid steer to help with patchwork. We found one for $1,400 and $700. We went with the $700 one. Nick, Mike, John, Chris, Hazel, and Bob approved that. On 8/15/19, Mike Williams put out a poll to ask how many additional dumpsters do we want for Labor Day weekend. My suggestion was 2 by the office and 1 at Woodlands. Nick, myself, John, and Bob affirmed that. On 8/21/19, poll was made by myself. We did we had some bids done on some tree work to get power to owners. We had 4 bids. One was $5,000, one was $6,500, one was $7,500, and one was $8,000. The winning bid was awarded to Albert and Sons for $5,000. Nick, Mike, John, Hazel, and Bob affirmed that. And last but not least, I put in a poll to rent a brush attachment. Ours was down at the time, and we needed it the next week. So it was affirmed to rent it by myself, Nick, John, Chris, and Bob. But it turned out we was able to fix it for $27 and we didn't have to rent one. So that's all I have. Thank you.
All right, what about the other poll, releasing said owner for ban?
That was not approved.
Actually, there's 2 of them approved.
I don't have that.
Okay.
There was only 3 of them that voted yes.
Well, there's 4 and 5, but that's fine. We're not gonna talk about all that, I guess. All right, no new business, no old business. Anybody sign up to talk? All right, Mr. Miller?
Yeah, do I gotta come up there?
Yes, sir. Come up to the mic so that way we can get it all recorded and everybody can see your smiling face.
Okay, there's only one thing that I really wanted to address with all these robberies and break-ins. We got there last night and found that our camper had been broken in and quite a few things had been taken. Herein lies the problem. That's one of my biggest things. Don't ever steal from me. Do whatever else you want, just don't take anything that doesn't belong to you. We called the sheriff last night, we reported, got everything taken care of, and made a few suggestions. Can we stop it? Probably. I've been talking to a few people over the last few months. I found out some information that was kind of disturbing. And I'm not sure if it's true or not, but other than the main gate and the back gate, I was told there were still quite a few places that you can gain entry into the development. And at one time, it's been quite a few years back, the Board of Trustees had taken it upon themselves to dig ditches across these entrances, keep people from coming in. Then I found out another board decided, well, we're going to go back and fill them back in, and that's what they did. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But it seems like at the time that the ditches were dug, the crime had dropped down quite a bit. And then the time span I heard that they filled them back in, that's when the crime started picking back up. So that might be something that the board might want to look into. I don't know. The only bad thing is, and I let the sheriff know last night, I'm a Marine veteran. If I find out who stole from me, somebody will die. Straight to the point. Thank you, sir.
All right, sorry it happened.
I didn't.
Wish we could change it, but,
You can't do nothing about it.
well, we're trying.
On the ditches and stuff back then, when we started doing them, they stopped making us do it because they said 3 calls unnecessary and stuff on there. They can sue the board for it, and that's why they got pulled back in.
Well, you can't make man-made hazards. I mean, that's,
Police officer said it was a good idea.
Yeah,
He told us last night.
dig the ditch and put a fence across it.
well,
Well, it's just like
although I hate to say it like this, I mean, we could try to dig a moat around the whole place, but we ain't got the money for that. And if you do dig a ditch where they're coming through, guess what? They're just gonna find another place. Honestly, you know, we put the cameras and everything by the back gate. That's great. All they're gonna do is shift over, find another place. I would rather let them keep going by there, and we have cameras and set up stealth and be something. Try to catch them in the act, not tell them, we know you came through here. Okay, we know you're coming through here. We're going to put a camera so you know it's here, and we're just going to do it over there. That's all they're going to do. So personally speaking, I would have just sat there and got volunteers or talked to the Washington County Police Department, sat up with them, put a sting in, something. But telling them and digging and doing this, you're just telling them, hey, we know you went through here. Warning, we're watching this spot now. They're just going to go over there. And, yeah, we're telling them our game. We're playing poker with double-sided cards. That, to me, is just hideous. You know, we screwed the pooch on quite a few things lately, and that's one of the reasons why I've resigned. I cannot deal with it. I'm not going to sit there and have somebody hold my head and watch wasteful spending and all this other crap that's going on. I'm not going to be a part of it. You're one person. It's a board of 4. All right, Randall.
Hello, my first thing already got talked about. We got robbed from 2, discovered it on Friday.
Area is this, I mean, are you with Lake Divide or Hill? Just
I'm-
curiosity, if you're in one particular area.
Where it was over on Rambler Drive. Started building a shed there and lost just about all my tools.
Hold on a minute. Sir, can you turn that mic on? There's a switch on the back.
Move it, okay.
Thank you.
Basically came in and somebody had broken in, took, I don't know, a few $1,000s worth of my tools that I was using to build a shed out on Rambler Drive. And you already went over the rest of everything I was wanting to say. The other thing, well, 2 other things. The other thing was real nice on the roads, by the way, because we drive over them getting back to Rambler. Also, I wanted to get some clarification on the vote in October about the residential stuff. Does that mean like you can put a camper on it, like on a building lot, like permanently, or what? I'm not completely sure on the understanding on all of that.
Anybody want to explain it?
Basically, what it would do would be, the building lot would be like a multi-purpose lot.
So you could put a camper on it?
Yes.
Permanently? Okay, so,
You would,
That
basically, you would not have to build a house.
okay. So that whole area from Woodlands on, from the entrance all through could be like for instance, some of the campers down there, maybe 1960 era that's half falling apart, sitting right there near the entrance of the, is that, I'm just wanting
Right, right,
clarification.
right.
The potential.
Okay,
The difference is,
that's all I wanted.
and I agree, and that was one of my many concerns, and I'm sure other boroughs had that as well. But we're also trying to look at the uptrend right now of how many campers have we gotten rid of in the last couple of years? How many derelict vehicles have been removed out of here? And you said a key word, back hidden. I got pictures of that one camper laying on its side, the couch sitting in front of the other one. We're doing our diligence, but it's very expensive, believe it or not, to foreclose and do certain things on these said lots. So if you can, this is 30 years of neglect. I get your concern, and that's the last thing. Hell, I'm building a house here. The last thing I want to do is drive through the hill, the hillbilly, trash park. It would be up front, and unfortunately, that's what a lot of building lots are, but I think it would be getting a lot more attention than something hidden back there where only a handful of people, not that it's not important, but only a handful of people see that, so they're not going to complain because people don't know. So we are making improvements, but we're also, if you look at the key focus of why we're doing this, we're trying to change revenue versus raising assessments, because raising assessments around here has proven to be very difficult. And the way things have happened over the years with the concessions that have been made, do you realize that every other lake community and development you go to around this, in Missouri, every lot has a same assessment, not Woodlands. Anybody know why the assessments are two different rates? It wasn't being nice. It wasn't something that the contractor said, hell, you buy a second lot, we'll give you a discount on assessments. No, it was concessions made with owners, because back then there was no social media. There was none of this. So basically what happened is there's a group of people that kind of ran Woodlands. They had the majority vote. So if you own 12 lots in here, you don't want to pay any more money on that. So they made a concession. I tell you what, we'll just do it per owner entity. So just only on your one lot, but yet now everybody else will have to pay just on that one lot. That's what started that difference between the first and second lot. Now, over years, I pretty much bet you the majority of the owners in here own more than one lot. There's a lot of people who own 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 lots in here. So what do you think that does to the scale of revenue and the scale of inflation? It's got us so messed up. Screwed is a 4-letter word, isn't it? I got to watch my 4-letter words. That's 5. See, I'm all right. That's 5. But that's what's happened here. Now we're flopped. So what do? You try to put in for an increase. That doesn't get passed. Nobody wants to spend an extra nickel. So the other thing to do is, the way you attack this thing is you start working on our percentages. All right, we're 70, 72%, somewhere in that neck of the woods of paying owners. So how do you increase that? All right, so they built the stage. We're getting more owners down here. It's been great. We're pulling the community together, okay? That's one part of this. Our percentages are going up for that. We're changing our revenue without changing the assessment. How else can we change revenue? Those are some nice lots. There's a lot of development that could be done around Crystal. There's a lot of hidden lots other than main drag. I'd love to sit there and say this rule doesn't apply to the main drag, just everything else on the sides. We can't do that. So we'd have to police that one area, because I don't want to look at junk every day where I drive in here. But what will that do? We start selling a percentage of them properties because no one wants one right now because you can't do nothing with it. We just changed our revenue without raising our assessments. So what we're trying to do is change revenue without assessment increase, because assessment increase is the easy, cheesy way to do it, but we can't seem to get that done. And I can't sit here and say I blame people for all these years. This assessment for the hard surface roads has been in for 10 years. Just the last 2 years we're making progress. I get it, but we're making the progress. There's a whole new outlook, a new way we're looking at things. So we're trying to change revenue without changing assessments. You get what I'm saying here? We're changing revenue, not assessments. So that was one of our efforts to do that. If you see every effort we've made to get new owners in here, everything we're doing is trying to change the revenue without the assessments, because we've proven year after year it's not going to happen.
Can I just ask one other thing? I'm trying to
You didn't sign twice, sir. No, I'm kidding you.
Are the assessments tied to cost of living or something?
No,
Okay, is there any way you could get a vote on that?
we can't. You can. We can have the owners. We talked about that. We even talked about doing a percentage. Like a 2%, 3%, or hell, you could put it in there for, hell's a 4-letter word. Dang it. Dang's not bad. It would be nice if we did a cost of living, just whatever it is that goes up. Do you really think we can't hardly get a $2? We couldn't get a $2 assessment to pass for fireworks, to fund the fireworks. So you think you're going to get a percentage? That's basically, and this is what you'll hear, it never ends. Well, no, neither does cost of living.
It's not gonna end. Nothing ends. Our
How many?
taxes don't end.
How many people work out there to get a cost of living raise? They usually get a raise, or You didn't sign up, sir, but I don't care. It's my last meeting.
The reason why we could never get an increase, and I was preaching it when I was on the board, people will give you all the money in the world as long as they see something being done with that.
Right.
And for years, we asked for money, but nothing was being done. Of course, it takes a while to build up that money before you get something done.
Mm-hmm.
Now that things are being done, maybe people will give you more money.
And that's why.
As long as it's being done on the right things that they want done, which is basically the infrastructure is placed.
And that's what our hope was, and that's why, it sounds silly, the Jumbotron, all these things help. We live in Missouri. It's a show me state. Show me. And that's what, one of the things I ran on when I ran for the board. Show me. So, and that's what, hell, Brian, you and I served for the first year. Everything I said was, we got to show them. We got to show. You know, everybody can talk, but we got to show. And that's what if you look just down here at this community center area, I mean, you got a pretty cool playground. You got an awesome little bandstand. Things are starting to pick up. Things are starting to look better. We're showing something. So don't be surprised if there is not. I've never put a major increase in because I don't think we've proven shit so far. That's another 4-letter word. John's going to kick me off this mic.
Major increase, you get little increases, but you'll never get a major.
Well, see, here's the problem. Everybody gripes about your nickel and dime us to death. Well, you going to pay big money? Well, no. Well, then what the heck? So hopefully with the events and everything we're doing and have been doing, things will change around here. And until that time, you know, hell, I'll still stay active. And I had 2 people yelling at me. Yeah, we're doing things. If you can make $10 off something, you did better than you didn't do, and you had fun doing it. Now that person tells that person. You know how many new owners? Because I don't know if you guys know that my wife kind of ran the little Corky's Corner, and she worked her ass off. Yeah, that put you in a good mood, Muffin? No. Never mind. No luck tonight. But anyway.
She couldn't keep her cook busy.
But, you know, it's, what were we talking about? My whole mind went something. Oh, being retarded. Yeah, I'm good at that. No, but everything we're doing is helping try to drive to get more people. I've seen more new owners come up there. Oh, I just bought a lot here 2-3 weeks ago. Well, that's good because they came down and seen the bands playing and had a good time, even a cornhole tournament. They come up here, sit up there. It's like Cheers up there on the parking lot. I mean, you get my little nephew that I'm raising has all kinds of new family now. And I hear about it all the time. And he's upset because he don't get to see his family because we're not up here as much.
Facebook post, the Facebook page when things are going well is nice to share with people. I have a lot of family that are like, what are you doing this weekend? And I usually just say the lake. And they're like, oh, Lake of the Ozarks? No, we're the lake.
Yeah, we're proud to say we have. Lake of the Ozarks only one. We got 12.
Yeah.
We're like high fluting out here.
See how much fun we have. Passing that around helps a lot, too.
But what hurts us is, you know, there's other lake developments out here. I don't know if you guys noticed. I put a post on there about Cedar Lakes, or I should say Cedar Lake. They have one 50-acre lake. It's a nice lake. It's 50-acre. Crystal's 65 acres. Like an idiot, I took one for the team. You all owe me now. I signed up to inquire. Oh, yeah, my phone rings off the hook. I got all kinds of new friends now, but I wanted to see what they paid yearly on their assessments. They're over $300 for one lake.
And the lots are small.
Oh, they're teeny tiny, and you can't ride UTVs, ATVs, and you better be quiet at like 9:41. You got to have warm up to 10 o'clock. They don't have no Corky's Corner, that's for damn sure. And they don't have anything. They don't have a quarter of the amenities that we have, but yet they pay more. That's weird. They pay more and we have more. So that's, you know, until you start showing some of these people, look, you can go over here and get this, but you look at what you have here. But what kills us is what you just went through and what you just went through. What people don't see is everything else. You know, I mean, that sucks you got broke into, and I'm with you. I may not kill them, but they may not be walking too well. You know, the other thing, sir, if you need tools while you're down here working, I'm right down the road from you. I'll loan you whatever you need. That way I don't have to work in my house. And I'm sure if you need help, there are a lot of people that will step up and help out here. We had a high chair stolen, and what happened? We had 3 of them the next day. If these people need one, we would have gave it to them. We're a giving community, so if you need something, you reach out. You know where I live, right? Got it? Huh? Okay. So just let us know. We'll help you out any way we can. I know I will, and I'm sure other people would. All right, ma'am, your arm's gonna.
Well, I just want to let people know, be careful because they're getting smart. They are not leaving doors open because when we got to our property, our door was closed and locked.
They're courteous.
Yeah, they did do that.
Well, that's where, I hate to say it, little alarms, lights, cameras.
They popped the frame and
I would love to have a setup where, like, you know, I got cameras on my house. I got a bunch of cameras, and I know all the way around Woodland Lake, there's all kinds of cameras, and I know there's some going up the other. Man, I'm telling you, if all of a sudden this car keeps showing up in the same thing, we need to get like some of these communities have, and there's a problem in this area. Here's all the sign-up people. Everybody had cameras. They can go back and review it quickly, and boom, we can start narrowing it down. I hate to say it, it's going to take effort on everybody's part to stop this. It's piddly BS. I caught myself, and good thing we don't have a swear jar up here. All right, Brian.
Yeah, about a year ago, John Kimack talked about when he got the gate done and all that, we were talking with that one company, I guess he was supposed to put where we could get Wi-Fi, or the owners could.
Bluebit.
Campers could get
Bluebit.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
We keep going with that?
yeah, Bluebit. I don't know how many meetings and times we've wasted, and John probably wasted more than me because when you don't show up 2 or 3 meetings with me, I'm done. And they're having, let's see, that'll be nice. They're having growing pains. So right now they're only in one direction, one way. So it's not a dead issue, but it's fairly dead. I even tried Viastat the other day. You know, they aggravated me, but their service wasn't too bad. It's a satellite internet, but just then again, a crook get a paintball gun, shoot out my satellite dish. Actually, they're cheaper than Fidelity. Yeah, they're like, what, 50, 60 bucks a month, which isn't bad, and I didn't have to buy a damn phone line. But I did go stick with Fidelity because they aggravated me. But I could shoot that dish, get it slightly out of line, there goes my internet. So, hate to say it, you know, but do like I do. I share mine with a lot of my neighbors. I could point it. Like a repeater, I'm shooting it over across the lake to them people over there. You know, if everybody would do that or just pitch in, I know there's a group down by Woodlands that all kind of pitch in, they share it.
I
And
won't share. I've tried.
it's because you're selfish. But,
I think it's because I've got steel.
you know, it's because you're selfish.
I'm not.
You can put a little thing like, I got one in my window.
You're just being overly nice just because you quit.
No, I didn't quit, I
Colleen,
resigned.
Can I ask you something? You quit.
I resigned.
Can I ask you something, Colleen? You have Bluebit, correct? How's that work for you?
it's not the greatest, but it's the cheapest. And I'm not a gamer or anything, so I do it.
Have you ever had Fidelity? Did you try Fidelity? Is it better than Fidelity or worse?
A little worse, but I didn't buy the expensive, you know, I can buy it faster, because I don't do any of that gaming thing, just by myself. It's all right.
Thank you.
So hopefully people can start. We need to start figure out some way. It's the hardest thing is to get started at anything, but banding together. So get with your neighbors and let's just start working. Introduce yourself to new people. We tried the meet and greet thing last year. It didn't work out too well either, but that was the whole intention of the meet and greet. We did it for a couple years and worked out pretty good. That was the whole purpose, is getting people together to meet with maps and blah, 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 to help stop this petty crime. So maybe somebody else could take the ball. We weren't allowed to do it, but maybe somebody else or the board or somebody will start doing that again every year, kick off the spring, and that'll help. That's the only way this stuff is going to stop.
Sir, did you make a police report?
Yes.
Good, thank you.
Mike, tell them how your internet service works where you share it.
I just did.
Did you tell them about mine?
Well, I just had a group down there. I don't like mentioning names. Maybe they want to
You
keep
all
it.
share.
Maybe they want to keep it hush hush for security reasons.
One person.
You're breaching.
I'm breaching.
No, if you have 4 people on there, each can go on there and pay their bill individually. Is that what you're talking about?
You don't play well with others.
Oh, yeah.
Who?
You.
Well,
Is that what you meant? Yeah.
I meant that he's sharing, 4 people are sharing down there,
Mhm.
the internet.
Yeah, they're paying though, too, so.
Which internet service do you have?
Fidelity.
hold on, Holly. I'll go and get to Craig. Hold on, I'll get to hit. Yeah, we're gonna go back up there.
On there, Howard?
Yeah, I got her.
Okay, Woodland Lakes Neighborhood Watch. I'd just like to let everybody know that we are starting to work on the roof over at the pump house finally. It should be finished Tuesday. Hopefully everybody likes it. The roof looks really nice compared to the other one that should have been mowed about 2 years ago. So, thank you all for participating in all our activities this year with the pancake breakfast and with our poker runs and stuff. We are still starting back up again, the lot assessment raffle. You can buy your tickets today. We have them over here. We're also raffling off $5 a chance for a set of diamond rings. The winner does not have to be present. We will be drawing that at the Valentine's Day dinner dance, which is the week before Valentine's, Saturday. We will be selling tickets for that at the October meeting. That's $35 per couple. You get a steak, baked potatoes, green beans, a roll, a salad, and a DJ playing. You have to bring your own alcohol. It's a really good time right here. We appreciate you all showing up. Putting that aside, this is my own opinion stuff now. Please vote for the making the building lots into multi-purpose lots. I've owned a building lot over here on the lake for, 5 years now. All I want to do is put up a carport so I can put a picnic table underneath it so that my family come down here and we can all get together for family outings. And I can't do it because it's a building lot. So it would be really nice if you helped me out and helped out the community too. I appreciate it.
Well, I don't mean to correct you. You're not changing it. You're just lifting the restriction.
Okay, well, whatever.
Just
That
so
way
I-
I can still put my stuff up there.
Right. So it'll still be a building lot with
Right, because
the
I already
lesser
have a
restriction.
house and I don't want to build another house on the lake. Yeah, one's enough. Thank
All right, Holly.
We were talking about security earlier, and I think a lot of the owners are starting to work with each other. That's a big help, getting to know people. But also coming in out of development, if you'll notice on Mine Road, that sometimes there's cars and vehicles, four-wheelers parked in the weeds. If you just report that as you see it, it may be nothing. It might be the farmers working on fences and stuff. But my husband and I have always reported somebody sitting there, especially if they're off the road and in the weeds.
To the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We get well, here's my radio from Corky's Corner and my keys, just so it's all public knowledge. I'll turn it over to Bob. But anyway, I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. Nope.
Oh.
Never mind.
Well, he wasn't on my sheet. I made that announcement. Now, come on up. You can make me. No. Actually, it's kind of disheartening.
Yeah.
I resigned.
The question is, how often do you go up to the office? Is it everybody show up once a week? How does that work?
Hit or miss.
Okay. Yeah, it does, because this started back in August 3rd. I watched somebody move a trailer onto a lot. Okay? So I went up and reported it that following Saturday. She said, "Oh, I know the people. I'll let them know that they need to move the trailer." I guess they were abandoning it or moving off their lot to put their new camper on. But I watched them back it in there. Next day, they had it covered. I thought, okay. And so that Saturday morning, I went up to the office. I said, I watched these people back this camper into this lot. I did my homework. It's not their lot, okay? The next week, I went back. I said, have you heard anything about this camper? Are they gonna move it? Oh, well, we might have to send them a letter. I said, okay. Following week, I went up and I said, did you send them a letter? She said, no. I have to take it to the board. I said, well, is there a form I fill out? She said, yeah. So I filled out the form. Following week, I went back and I said something again. I happened to run into one of your other board members up at the garden shack, And he says, well, I'll go check the box. I guess he got an inbox or something.
Mm-hmm.
He said, well, I didn't know anything about it. Okay. He said we probably have to mail a letter. So I don't know if that's ever been done. Well, here it is 7 weeks later, and that trailer's still sitting there. How do we get about, I mean, because I'm getting the feeling they just put it there so they can abandon it and leave it to somebody else's problem.
Has any of you guys
But
heard
it's
of
an
this?
eyesore to
That's
me,
the
you
first
know
I've
what I'm
heard of it.
saying?
Where do you go into the office or the gate? With
The
your,
first time I gave a piece of paper to one of the guard people.
Okay.
I said, will you give this, because the office was closed.
okay,
And then that following week, I actually filled out the form. I think it was on the 17th is when I filled out the form. And I've been following up
Okay.
to see if
17th of
what's
what month?
happening. And she says, well, none of the
August.
board members have been in to pick up this complaint form. That's why I'm asking, how often do you communicate with the office? And
Well,
they-
first of all, number one, every meeting is, it's the last thing on our agenda is we check the trustee box like we did today. Bob, you actually went out there and got it. There was not, this complaint was not in that box.
okay.
So that I don't know. There's 4 of us sitting here and not one of us know anything about what's going on. I apologize.
I'm feeling there's a cover-up here for maybe, because she said she knew him and would talk to him and have him move it. So there's
At the
a
end of the-
cover-up going
at the end of the meeting here,
I'm up on 55, 137.
at the end of the
And
meeting,
and it's-
give me the information where it's at, where you're at, where it's at, and
most certainly.
we can look into it.
Yeah, I apologize. I
Yeah,
have,
we can look
No,
into
I
it.
mean,
Never
'cause
heard
I know
nothing
the
about it.
problem is with the derelict trailers and stuff, but I felt like I gave them an ample enough time to,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
because they
Yeah.
took it off that lot, and I watched them.
Or if they took it off a different lot.
They
just
took it
moved
off
over.
a lot they had just purchased. Because this is how I know. When they moved their new trailer in, it was at night, so I went up, I said, you need a drop light. Well, his wife says, well, that other camper up there, we're gonna try to get rid of it and figure out what to do with it. So I'm not making this up, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I can get you, I
Yeah,
got.
give me all
If
that.
we posted it, somebody would have took it.
Well, yeah.
For sure.
look,
Yeah, there's other
Give
ways
me
to
all
get
the
rid of it.
information, and I can look into it.
I apologize, and I do appreciate you taking your time out to let us know that.
Yeah,
Next
no
time, follow the procedure and sign up. I'm kidding you. All right, anybody have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, meeting adjourned at 10:44. Thank you all.